Greetings and salutations. Charlton66 here once again with another video. As always, I hope everyone is doing well in the new year so far. 2020 is doing well for everyone. I've been trying to catch up on some videos, but it's not going as smoothly as I like. There's some things are coming up that I just can't sit down and be watching videos, but I do catch up on as much as I possibly can right now, but I'm gonna do a lot more on catching up with some folks. But I did been catching up on my comments. I know I was kind of lax the last two videos on responding to my comments, but I responded to most of them, I do believe. Like I said, I hope everyone's doing well. This video is going to go over a lot of Charlton stuff. Last video I did Western, some of my favorite Westerns at the time, included some of the Charlton. I got exclusively Charlton Westerns right now, but I'm not going to include those books that I already shown from the last video. So there'll be some new Charltons. Again, nothing to write home about. They're not, they're not like, oh my God, this is such an awesome Western. They're solid stories, solid artwork, and it has some surprises in some of the books, which make them, little gems that you can find, and have some artists that you may not know did some work for Charlton. So, but on to some other things real quick. I was able to visit some family, and we exchanged names for Christmas time. I didn't make it out for Christmas like I wanted to, so my cousin, who got my name, did an awesome gift for me. He got me some music, which is not really about music, but he got me some music. But this was really awesome. Creeping Death from Neptune: The Life and Comics of Basil Wolverton, Volume 1, 1909 and 1941, which is just a phenomenal read. Anyone who's not familiar with Basil Wolverton, do yourself a favor, look him up, get some books on him. Comic books, they're relatively pricey. Anyone who's done any type of collecting for the Golden Age realize that Basil Wolverton is sought after as much as any other artist of the Golden Age, because his stuff is very I don't want to say it's quirky. It's absolutely quirky, but it's one of those things that he set a standard that no one has come close to. His style, you won't confuse it with anybody else. That's all I gotta say, really. But it's such a nice volume. Excellent color comics in here. Just phenomenal work. Reproductions here. His style and detail is just incredible. Of course, he's known for Space Hawk. That's what everyone equates Basil Wolverton to Space Hawk, but there's spot illustrations in here, things that he's done, panel dissection of his work. Just excellent book. Now, the beginning talks about his life and things that he's done, that type of thing. Things you'd find in a typical book about a certain comic book artist. But again, my cousin hooked me up. Thank you, Luke. It's so good. I recommend it. If you've never heard of Basil Wolverton, do yourself a favor, pick this book up. You will not be disappointed. He's that good. And his son, apparently, well, not apparently, but his son draws like him, and is doing stuff, I think, currently, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, again, Creeping Death from Neptune: The Life and Comics of Basil Wolverton, Volume 1. I'm looking forward to Volume 2 already. I read this, the narrative part. I've not read all the comic book parts in it yet. I've read some of the stuff in reprint form. I got a book put out by Kitchen Sink called Wolverton. Um, Let me get that real quick since we're on the Basil Wolverton. It's called Basil Wolverton in Space, which is I think put up by Kitchen Sink. No, I'm sorry, Dark Horse. Um, which is kind of hard to find this book. But again, it has all of his space stories in here. Again, there's Space Hawk, what he's known for. But again, I highly recommend the book. So I want to go over that. Again, my friend John, via gift card, I picked up a bunch of the Charlton Neo books, which I can't get enough of these things, man. They are so good. The information, I went over it before, the information in these books about the publishing history goes to show, like I've said before, how spotty and hard it is to collect a run of certain books. But it goes in depth in these Charlton Neo books. The one which I'm going to go over some westerns here. Outlaws of the Wild West. This goes over Billy the Kid, Cheyenne Kid, Montana Kid, and vintage covers shot from the original printing sources. And like I said, it has a narrative in here talking about the westerns, talking about the books. And some of the stuff in here is just I've never even seen before, which is awesome. And I love seeing this stuff because I know what I'm looking forward to in collecting Charlton. Like Finding My Never Again #1, which I never heard of before, made my day, made my year of 2019. But again, Cheyenne Kid, it goes over the publishing history, Montana Kid, and again, it goes to show you how hard it is. Like Montana Kid, for instance, which is a great Charlton series. November 1957 to March 1965, 9 to 50, number 9 to issue 50 was a Kid in Montana. Numbering continued from Davy Crockett. So you've got Davy Crockett 1 to 8, and then it kicks over to Kid Montana, which is, who would know that unless they didn't have this resource? Of course, the price guide tells you this as well. Then August of 55 to January of 57, 1 to 8. Then changed to Montana Kid, cover logo only, January 64 to 65 of March, 44 to 50. Numbering continued in Gunfighters, October of 66 to October of 67, 51 to 52. It resumed June of 79 to July of 84. So all that, this is just for that one title. So it would be a pain in the butt to try and collect. Well, it is a pain in the butt trying to collect these books, but it's very cool to have this information. Like you got some Black Fury action going on here. Great cover art. They seem to be using a lot of Dick Giordano artwork for these covers. I know Pat Musuli, Rock Mastrusario, and Vincent Alcacea, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, did a lot of Western work, which you'll see in a second. But they seem to be using Dick Giordano a lot with these awesome cover illustrations, which is just fine by me. But I would like to see a variance of different artwork and artists that worked on the westerns for Charlton. Now here's a nice Jack Keller on Cheyenne Kid. And here's an example of Rock Massasorio and Dick Giordano and Sam Glanzman all on this cover right there. But you get the idea. I don't want to beat the proverbial dead horse, but you get the idea. Then I get the Nether Wild West, the This one has Six Gun Heroes, Texas Rangers, and Wyatt Earp right here on this particular issue of Charlton Neo. Just great cover illustrations. Just awesome stuff. And again, same thing with some history on Charlton Western titles, which is just a boon to me as a Charlton collector, and for them to go and take the time and do this on these particular books, which is just really phenomenal. This one from Charlton Neo deals with nurses, monsters, and hot rodders, which is a great combo. And it's the same setup with this. Cover illustrations with printing history and text on what we got going on here. It's got an awesome, although a very small, Congo's Revenge down here at the bottom, original artwork cover. I think that was an unused cover if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, excellent resources for anyone who's into comic books, and they're not that much. I think they're $9.95 a piece, so it's really not that pricey to get the information and the kind of stuff that you get in those books. And another one I got, which is excellent, the Charlton Arrow, all new E-Man story. All these are new stories in here, and the back cover is really cool. And of course, Joe Staten on E-Man. But yeah, it's all in color. There's a nice Monster Hunter story in this. Yeah, Colonel Whiteshroud and the Monster Hunters. So you can get by this and have new stories and a nice addition to your comic book collection or your Charlton collection if you're collecting Charlton books or E-Man or Joe Staten artwork or what have you. It's just good stuff. I know I'm already 12 minutes into this. Excuse me. I know I'm already 12 minutes into this. Gonna go do a couple westerns real quick. I went longer than I thought, so I know I might leave the west. I'll leave the westerns to another video. But one of the things I want to show is this. Here's the Outlaws of the West. This is the cover that they used from this book. This is February from '64, number 47, where they put the cover that they use with putting comic books that they are going to showcase on the cover, which I thought was pretty cool. Another Western I want to talk about really fast. I'm going to do another video on these Westerns, but there's one in here I thought was kind of odd. So I listed it on the back of these books. I think it's an Billy the Kid issue, if I'm not mistaken. These are just some of my favorite, I don't say at the moment, favorite Charlton. Yeah, this issue right here of Cheyenne Kid has an excellent San-Ho Kim cover, but it's got a sci-fi story in this, which I don't think the guide lists in this. So it's kind of weird. Anytime the juxtaposition of a sci-fi UFO story with a Western is always cool. Put those two together and you have a pretty cool storyline. Again, this is number 87 from November of '71. Cheyenne Kid, excellent cover. You know what? I'll make this video kind of go through it kind of quick. I've decided. All right, here we go. For the moment, here we got. I'm going to change up here a little bit. I'm going to try and make this see if we can do this in 20 minutes. See 5 more minutes with these westerns. Texas Rangers in action. An awesome Jim Aparo cover. It's got a Pam story in this. Pete Morisi. Excellent. I love the baby blue back cover and foreground with the hero standing in the spotlight. Very cool comic book. Again, Outlaws of the West. This is from February of '64, number 47. Talked about the Shining Kid with the cool sci-fi story, which you didn't see it going that way. So if you pick up this issue, I think you'll enjoy it. Another nice. I think this is Luis Dominguez cover. I think. I need to look that up, but I think so. There's a Luis Dominguez story in this. This is Cheyenne Kid number 62 from June of '67. Great cover. Cool Wyatt Earp cover here. Frontier Marshal Wyatt Earp, number 55 from October of '64. Again, these are nothing to write home about, but they are good, solid stories. And again, Joe Gill did a lot of the stories in this, from my understanding. The artwork is passable. Again, Acasea, if I'm saying his name right, and Mastrosorio, and Masuli. Masuli was the editor for most of I think for the Western line for the most part, at least in the 60s. And the artwork is what it is, but these guys are workhorses, really doing a lot of really good stuff within the Westerns. And again, some of the sci-fi books. Sheriff of Tombstone, this is number 13. This is all Jack Keller. So anyone who's a Keller fan, and I know some folks who are, the Sheriff of Tombstone, number 13, January of 1960. All Jack Keller. I think even the cover is Keller, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I can tell it's Jack Keller on this cover. Nice Pam cover on the Kid Montana. And I love the illustrations here on the side. Very cool. Again, Pete Morisi artwork. This is from May of '63. This is number 40. And my Charlton Western, it's lacking compared to the horror and war titles. I need a lot more. And again, as you saw when I talked about it, the print history is it's crazy. And I mean, they did it with other titles too, not just Westerns, but they seem to get the brunt of the confusing print history, printing the print run. Billy the Kid, I just like this train cover, May of 1970. And again, Billy the Kid was a weird title because, blonde-haired, good guy, character, far different from the notorious Billy the Kid that's known historically. I mean, they all do that with Westerns, and I get that, but the blonde hair is what gets me. It's a nice high-grade copy, black cover. Billy the Kid 119 from 1976, August of '76. Warren Sattler cover. Got the guys waiting for him right here to bushwhack him. Very cool. Very cool comic. I like this with the horror aspect. This is a Jose Delbo cover. And it's got a Pat Boyette storyline in this as well. This is 144 from October of 1981. Another cool ripping off the Wonder poster with your 6-gun being shown. Outlaws of the West, number 43 from June of '63. I like these covers. A nice Outlaws of the West cover by Masuli and Massasorio. Um, just a bad guy on a horse from September of '65. Nice Giordano cover and Massasorio. Love the shading and the spotting of blacks on this. This is from March of '67, number 63. Outlaws of the West, number 69. Let's do 65 first. This is the second appearance of Captain Doom, a Confederate general trying to make good. This is him. He doesn't have an arm, which I thought was a cool aspect of the character. This is from July of '67. Second appearance of Captain Doom. What a name, Captain Doom. And here's a great cover by Rock Massasorio. Kid Montana and Captain Doom. Good stuff here. Great cover. This has got a Pat Boyette cover in it. This is from May of '67 and a Pete Morisi story in this on the Kid Montana. Up on past the 20-minute mark. A few more books and we'll be done. Texas Rangers in Action, which is such a great cover by Rock. This is from July of '67. This is number 61. This is a nice book. Number 21, Frontier Marshal Wyatt Earp, the 100-page issue. The cover is not really all that great, but it's got some good stuff in here. September of '58. The only thing, it's got a piece missing right here, which really stinks. But it's still a great book to have. Any 100-page Charlton is awesome to have. And here's a 68-page Texas Rangers in Action. Again, awesome Rock cover. Massasorio, pretty cool. Guns a-blazing. Has a Al Williamson and Torres storyline in this. This is from February of '58. Get the glare off of that. It's such a pretty cool cover. I like the rope there coming down. And that's that for the westerns and the Charlton stuff. Sorry I went over some 20 minutes. Sorry I went kind of long, but I wanted to get some of this stuff out, particularly the Charlton Neo books and the awesome gift of the Basil Wolverton book. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone's staying warm who's getting hit by this weather. And you guys take care. And again, thank you for reviewing, subscribing. Thank you for leaving comments. I enjoy the comments. Kind of keeps me motivated and focused on what I need to do next and what I got going on. So I do appreciate that. And I'll talk to you guys later. You guys take care.